We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers.
I think I'm still muted.
I'm not muted anymore. Here we go. Let's go. Welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. I looked down and I said, hey, my mic is live. Here we are. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. It is a beautiful Wednesday. I'm glad you're joining us here on a, wonderful edition of Side Scrollers. My face will be redder than this shirt here in just a second. Hello, Blabs. Good to see you.
I was watching. I was like, "Oh no!" I put in the private chat. I'm like, "You're not muted."
I'm not muted. Yeah, I'm over here clearing my throat, ready to go live.
I was really tempted to just mute you, but then I was like, you wouldn't realize it, and then you would start off muted, and it would just be a chirp. Yeah, so I just let you go. I just let you go. Do your own thing.
Listen, we've been doing this show for over 2 years.
Really professional.
That's the first time that's happened. That's the first time.
That's actually not the first time. You've done that before.
It's the second time it's happened. All right. That's a pretty good track record here. Oh man, the mic, the camera was on the whole time.
Beat your demons, am I right?
Man, that's right. We're gonna beat those demons, man. That's a nice little callback there to the original starting of Side Scrollers right there.
We should get that T-shirt in or something again.
Beat Your Demons T-shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, those who know. There you go. We got a big show for you guys lined up for you today. We are talking all things gaming and entertainment and all the fun stuff in the periphery. We have we're gonna be talking about Pokimane. I saw this thread on Pokimane, which was just chef's kiss, and I realized that look, it's not everybody's bag. I get it, but it's just amazing to see someone kind of get put in their place like that, and the reaction from that happening. So we also have people being broken in 2025, which is a common occurrence. People are just so broken, it's crazy. The Nintendo Switch 2. Guess what? They said they could handle demands. Turns out they can't. We'll be getting to that a little bit later on. We have all sorts of stuff on Oblivion because that is just dominating right now, but rightfully so. People are very excited about that. And we have a big anniversary to speak of today. 20 years on YouTube, apparently, which is
2005.
But we have a wonderful guest today. Well, the first time I think, yes, I'm going to let me go to my yes. I'm confirming right now at the rules saying that this is the first person we've had on our show that is indeed running for Congress. Hello, Marty O'Donnell.
Yes. Hello. It's good to be back.
Yes. Pleasure to see you, friend. So, yeah, big news. Let's start off right there. Big news for you. So what's going on?
I'm running for Congress here in Nevada, District 3, Las Vegas. It's time for composers and game design people to be in the government. Don't you think?
I woke up this morning.
We're underrepresented.
I said, hey, we need more composers in the government.
That's right.
And here we are.
Yeah. My motto is less lawyers, more composers.
That's good. Well, it'd be worse if it was less lawyers, more posers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But we have composer there, which is good.
My other goal is to be the best composer in Congress.
Which
is a bit of a low bar probably, but why not?
I was gonna say you do be the best anything in Congress, and that's a low bar, which is good. Well, so here we are.
I'm taking this seriously. I really am. I believe it or not, I ran last year. I lost in the primary. I got in really late. I was campaigned for about 80 days, so I'm getting in really early this time. So it's for 2026, and what I really am doing is I think it's time. I really believe Donald Trump and his administration is going to need reinforcements coming up in the midterms. I want to keep the ball rolling. This seat was won by a Democrat a year ago, or just last fall, but the district was won by Donald Trump. So it is what they consider to be a flippable seat. There's only 13 of these districts in the entire country that Donald Trump won, but the Democrat won in the district. So yeah, I think it would be great to give him a majority, to keep the majority in Congress and the Senate. Otherwise, I think, whatever progress is made in the next couple of years will get stymied by, if the Democrats take the House, then we'll have nothing but 2 years of lawfare and impeachments and stuff like that. And I think we're going in the right direction, and I'm very excited about it.
How does look, as somebody who just kind of looks at this stuff from afar, and like you're openly conservative, obviously you root for Donald Trump, and how has that, just you publicly speaking like that, how has that affected your relationships in the gaming space and the gaming sphere as a whole?
Well, if you look, for those who have been following, let's say, Bungie and the people who worked at Bungie and my entire career, I think I'm listed as the most conservative person who works at Bungie. Everybody knows I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative Christian guy, and I've always been that way. I'm always able to work with other people. All the heathens I work with, I've had a great time with. It's people can have civil discourse. People can work on projects where you have a goal and a vision. And yeah, we have different opinions about different things, and that makes life interesting. So there have been fans who are kind of shocked and appalled that I'm an openly conservative person, but nobody I've ever worked with is surprised by this. And one of the reasons I started my podcast was to reconnect with old friends and people I've worked with over the years. I had Alex Seropian on last week, who was the founder of Bungie, and Alex has always been relatively liberal. And we had a great time. It's just, I'm going to probably at some point in the future, I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping to get Joe Staten on. And Joe and I, in our years working together, we had some amazingly knockdown, drag out political discussions. But we have remained friends the entire time. So I told him, hey, Joe, come on the show. No politics. We'll just talk about all the cool stuff we've done, making games and whatever he's working on now.
It's amazing how that works out.
You can do that. You can do that.
It's amazing. It's really amazing to see, how those really, like, I've had people totally distance from me because I've said things like, I know what a man is and I know what a woman is, right? People
very, very dangerous.
I know. That's like my big cardinal sin. So I've had people, like past employees, be like, he's a bigot. And it's like, okay, all right. Like you would have, like, the same people who are yelling at me and calling me bad words are the same people who use the N word openly, the F word openly. Like, these are not, I would say, high quality people by any means, right? But either way, it's interesting to see. So if people want to support you, they can go to martyforcongress.vote.
Yep. Cool. You could also go to martyforcongress.com and it'll take you right to the same place.
All right. Easy. The .vote URL.
Oh, wow. You got it all set up. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
We're on top of this. Outside of like intros and microphones being on, we are on top of being.
You guys are professionals.
Thanks, Marty. Appreciate that. Hey, clip that, Blabs. Please put that in the intro from here on out. That's good. All right. Well, obviously, everyone go check it out. We'll put a link to that down in the description. Appreciate you guys popping in. We do have a lot to talk about today, in addition to congressional seats.
I'm going to interrupt you, Craig. I just want to make sure. I mean, you're probably going to get some blowback because you're platforming me.
Okay.
But that's all.
So you're probably going to get blowback from me from what I'm about to say.
Yes.
Go fuck yourself, everybody. How's that? Is that okay?
Oh gosh,
you're sending my non-binary pine cone.
Listen, if somebody's, there's thousands of screen caps of me out there flicking off the camera. It's okay.
Oh, good.
Some of them are from me.
No big deal.
Yeah, But I'll be on there with you. Oh my gosh, that's gonna all
Sorry,
my
my fault.
conservative.
Wait, does
you know.
everyone like want to put up a middle finger and just screen grab it for the world?
How about this? Hey, go fuck yourself, everybody. How's that sound? There you go. Is that better? There you go.
Much better.
Screen cap that, everybody. Sounds good. Sorry if I ruined your congressional bid right there, Marty. I apologize.
Well, I mean, it's very tenuous. Who knows?
That's true. I'll tell you what. Before we get into today in gaming history, Blabs and Marty were talking before the show.
Yeah.
Blabs, I'll let you take it from here real fast.
All right. So Marty O'Donnell mentioned the wonderful Jeremy Soule, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he's been canceled." Now listen, it's no secret I live under a rock, so I don't know anything about this cancellation. So could you please tell us what happened? Because
well, before I say anything, I actually checked because I didn't get the Oblivion remake. I'll probably have to do that soon, but I wanted to check to make sure they somehow didn't replace Jeremy's music with like, redone new music that's not Jeremy Soule, but it's apparently all Jeremy's music again. His work with Bethesda is legendary and spectacular in my opinion. I think he's a great composer. And there he is. So we've been friends for a long time, but I don't know where he is. If anybody knows where he is right now, I'd love to reconnect with him, but he got canceled. Wow, what is it now? 8 years ago, maybe?
for what?
Well, you go to Google and you can look it up, or go to some AI program, ChatGPT or something, or
That's
Grok.
what Craig's literally doing right now.
Okay.
See it?
Yeah. It was during the Me Too movement, and
no.
from the surface kind of what I saw come through the public airwaves on the internet tubes, it seemed all one-sided. I never heard his there it is. He was not officially canceled by Bethesda, but hello, where is he now?
Right.
Yeah. Maybe he just took his money and was like, you know what? I don't need this bullshit. I'm going to go retire somewhere, live on an island. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. It was a shame. He was accused by a couple of Me Too type things, which I didn't see. Like, it was back when it was all about believe women and believe all women, believe women no matter what. I mean, whatever that was.
The witch hunt, basically.
Yeah,
even if
and
they're
Blabs,
I
believe Blabs. I mean, that's what I think. But
thank you.
that makes one of us. All right.
I just didn't see any. There was no follow up on it. Of course, there was no trial. There was no, the accusations seemed very fuzzy and weird. But it was like during that period where that's the end of him, and
Right.
I just felt really bad about it, and I still do.
Yeah, it's we saw a lot of bad things happen to people who were just, even today, the idea of, well, they were accused of this.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I accuse Blabs of eating a pound of hot dogs on a day-to-day basis. Did you hear that about Blabs? He eats a pound of hot dogs every day.
Yeah, I remember talking to somebody who saw it happening.
No.
So
Blabs, how dare you? You hot
Sorry,
dog
I was
eater.
really hungry.
Every day. It's crazy, just slopping them down. It's crazy.
every
Slapping
day.
them. Wow.
That's right.
Words.
So Blabs has been accused of that, and so that now we
Slapping
know.
hot dogs. That's
Blabs
right.
is the hot dog eater, the hot dog slopper. Blabs.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, it's happening. All right. Well,
yeah, I'm sure there are people. I don't know. I'm not reading comments. Let me see. Is anybody in the comments talking about it?
The Blabs eating the glizzies.
Yes.
There's plenty of them.
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering if anybody
Of Jeremy
filled in.
Soule?
Yeah.
Not really. Everyone just says the Me Too.
Yeah.
Well, Blabs,
well,
you can do a little digging.
I'm curious.
Well,
No, for sure.
the thing I always wonder about that is that once that's happened to somebody, how do they come back? Like how now that it's like we're not quite as like easily triggered and immediately, condemn people without any sort of, due process, which is the word of the week. It's like, how do they come back from that? How do they? I don't know. It's tough. I haven't heard from Jeremy in a long time. I've tried to reach out to him. It's like, if you're watching, reach out to me. You just go to martyforcongress.com is the easiest way.
There we go.
Contribute money and then
yeah, right. Then and only then will I talk to you, which is good.
Yeah.
Speaking of contributing money, Patrick Phillips is a brand new Side Scrollers Plus member. Let's go, Patrick. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Nice.
you guys head over to Side Scrollers Plus, become a supporter of the show over there. We are closing in on 500, which is outstanding. And when we get to 500, Marty, we are going to do a stream. We don't stream over on Twitch on a day-to-day basis. We stopped doing that a couple of years ago because Twitch is a cesspool. Ooh. But we are going to do one more stream over on Twitch, and the goal is to have our channel shut down as fast as it possibly can. So we're going to do all the things that have gotten people canceled over the last year, and see how long it takes for them to.
So they'll cancel you in real time there.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's going to be great.
Okay,
that's good. Romer came in, says, "Hey Marty, just wanted to say that your music saved me while I was in med school and got me through my medical exams. Thank you."
That is, that's a tremendous thing to hear. Thank you very much. I hope it didn't help you and cheat on your medical exams in any way. So, but that's great. I hope it is working out for you.
In the Halo theme, it's talking about where you can where to put the puncture wound for the next surgery or something.
Yeah,
the hidden messages. Yeah, that's good. Ian says, let's get Marty on FNT or Tuesday night's main event sometime. Yeah, for sure. We can. I'm sure we can get those guys set up over there. Let's see. We got any more for Marty here? Toxic says, good to see Marty. Last time he was on, it was one of the most interesting episodes, and I've never even been much into Halo.
Wow. Well, thanks.
You're an interesting dude, Marty. That's good.
Which is great. I love being able to talk to the kids like you. Because as you know, I am Marty the Elder. I am. It's unusual to have somebody my age talking to you game kids.
Yeah, that's me, the 43-year-old game kid.
43. Do you realize how young 43 is?
I do. I
don't think you do. Do you know how old I was when we did Mac World 1999 that showed Halo to the world for the first time?
How old were you then?
I was a year older than you are right now.
That's awesome. That's great. Love it. Well, look at you.
And I never aged from that day forward.
Yeah, you're looking great, man. Looking great. Well, I'll say this, maybe in 25, 26 years from now, I'll also be running for Congress, and they'll take screenshots like this. And they'll be like, hey, yeah, what a positive guy.
He's a positive guy.
Hey, New York Giants fan says, joke of the day. What did one eye say to the other? Between us, something smells. Hey. There we go. Thanks so much, New York Giants fan. And Marmalin says nothing was proven in court, but the typical gaming journos jumped on it, Kotaku, etc. Sad to see his music is big in my sad to see since his music is big in my teenage years, like Halo was. Heart Marty.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with the Kotaku journos.
Yeah, just popping on board.
Kotaku's not doing all that well. Is that true? Is that are they not quite as
Kotaku could be on the way out here very soon. I'd say in the last year they got rid of their editor in chief. They brought in a new guy who hence went in and privated his entire social media because he knew he'd get it for being the EIC over there. And there was talks of Kotaku moving and shifting entirely to doing guides because that's more like search engine optimization friendly, right?
Yeah,
and it's more evergreen content. But they haven't done that yet. So I think we could be on the fringe right there because they're drafting.
I heard Alyssa has a new job. Is that true?
You know, the lady who used to work at Kotaku, I believe, I saw somewhere along the lines that she is in fact serving breadsticks at Olive Garden or something like that. So.
Oh, okay. So it's not. Do you want fries with that? It's a step up.
It could be fries. You know, you can get fries as a side at a restaurant. True. So that's good. True, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we do have a lot to go on today. So let's fire it off. Blabs, please tell us about today in gaming history.
Okie dokies, everybody. April 23rd means Disney's DuckTales 2 was released in Japan in 1993. You have Mega Man 03 released in Japan as well in 2004. And then the all-time forgotten video game, Star Trek the video game, was released in 2013. Yay!
There we go.
Wow. That's hard to believe it's that old.
Yeah, I look at this list every day. And
I didn't play that game. I was just thinking about the movie. So,
yeah.
A great game.
Star Trek came out. The first movie came out in 2009, which is wild.
With the 2009?
Yeah, with Chris Pine.
Yeah,
2009, and then the last one, the third one came out in what, like 2016? Yeah.
Well, we're it's prime for a remake. It's been 15 years, so
no, because they've always been having on and off about having like a fourth Star Trek, and then there was all these things about having to rebranding, redo everything. So who knows what they're doing?
So if you search hard enough on images, you'll find a shot of me with James T. Kirk, William Shatner.
Oh, nice. Let me do a little.
William,
I'll find it. I'm an excellent.
Okay, yeah. I think it's on my Twitter someplace, but it's probably buried very, very deep. But see if you can find it.
I'll find it. I'm excellent at.
Are you good at this? Okay,
I'm a pretty good Googler. Just gonna throw it out there. I don't mean to brag, but I'll find it.
See, I still think of Captain Kirk as, the captain of the Enterprise. I mean, I love Patrick Stewart, and Chris Pine did a great job, but man, Captain Kirk, he was the guy. He was the man.
Well, we'll see. Maybe if you tagged your tweets appropriately, Marty, it'd be a lot easier to find.
There you go.
I'll find it. I'll find it before the show's over.
Okay.
You mentioned DuckTales 2. Just a quick side note about Disney's DuckTales 2. This was late in the 1993 was super late in the NES life cycle. This game is super valuable today if you were to go out and pick it up, because it was released so late in the NES life cycle, especially after the first Tales was a massive success, super popular, and a lot of people see it super legendary. But the sequel, it didn't do as well because everyone was playing the Super Nintendo at the time. So it'd be like releasing a PlayStation 4 game today. So
oh my gosh, you're right. I'm looking at DuckTales 2 on price charting.
Mm-hmm.
The complete price, $743.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Marty, what do you think about game collecting? Do you have anything that's sealed or collected? Or
I found a copy, shrink wrapped, sealed, perfect condition copy of Halo 1 that says not for resale. It was the ones that were only given to the people of the dev team. And I didn't know it was a thing. I just, for some reason, that was one I never opened or did anything with. And I found it in one of my boxes, and I think I took a picture of it or something. And somebody said, yeah, that's actually worth money. So I found people who are doing those, they seal them up in hermetically sealed things. And then when I called the guy and I said, hey, yeah, I got some things I think I should probably get sealed up so that, after I'm gone, my kids and my grandkids can make a lot of money off of me.
There you go.
But then they said, well, yeah, let's make it the Marty O'Donnell collection, and you hand sign a thing that's imprinted on all of the, at the top of these things. So I did that a few months ago, and it's nice. I'm glad that I have those things. So I have just about everything I made. I sealed up and did
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah, because I found a bunch of stuff. I'm sort of a pack rat. I have sealed versions of all sorts of things. And
are you gonna make a video of this and just show off your whole collection?
That's a good idea. Yeah,
you really should. I would totally watch that. That sounds fun.
Well, here you go. This is now yours is even more. This is just the game itself, and this is if it's packed up, graded like you have it. This is for $2,000, and yours is not for resale. This year's like some super demo, so it's probably double that.
Yeah. I mean, it's strange because these are in boxes that you are like, oh, okay, I forgot I had that, and it's like even at my stage of wealth, that's real money. So
yeah, it's great.
That was a joke, by the way.
Hey,
but I'm glad to be part of the 1%. So
there you go.
I'm proud of it.
Hey, Nate says for $21. Thank you so much.
Ooh,
he says,
21.
Marty, just wanted to say thanks for making my childhood awesome, man. The Halo soundtracks are still unmatched. Good luck with your election. Montez.
Well, thanks. Instead of doing these, I'm going to take money away from Craig here. Instead of doing these super chats, you should just go to my site and give me the money directly. That's
Hey, everyone go to martyforcongress.vote and give Marty lots of money. There you go. And if you have any left over, we'll take the scraps. Sounds good.
Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe to raise some campaign funds, I'll auction off some of my sealed copies of things.
You should do a big live stream. Bring a bunch of people in and just keep pushing people to your
Actually,
platform.
I'll announce here. What about over the next 6 to 8 to year long period? At some point here in my district, a LAN party Halo with the original Xbox, like Halo 1 and 2 LAN party. Yeah, what do you think?
Love it. Hey,
and everybody can come and bring with their stuff. I'll autograph stuff. Maybe I'll even get a couple of my old OG Bungie guys and have them be there too. That'd be fun. What,
Marty? I'm on board. I'm on board with that.
Okay.
There's one condition.
Okay.
We have to be there. We have to do a show from your LAN party.
Oh, okay, done.
Okay.
Nice.
Agreed.
There you
Shake
go.
on it. There we go.
Side scrollers at the Marty O'Donnell Halo LAN party.
Yeah, wasn't that? I think I would have fun with that. That just seems like a blast.
I love it.
But with the original, they did it. I was in Las Vegas. They did a LAN party for Halo 2, the 20th anniversary last summer, and somehow they got all NTSC monitors and the original Xboxes, and they LANed them all up. And I saw them. They said, "Yeah, we're packing them all up and saving them for the next thing." So I'm going to have to give these guys a call and say, maybe I could be the next thing. So that'd be fun.
And the thing about it is that when you're playing Halo, like that's the thing. When you're playing these classics, you can't play them. You got to play them on the classic tube TVs.
Yes,
because the input delay is there. So it's
and it actually looks better. Because that's what we made it for. So it sometimes. And I want to get into the technical issues, but like that's what we made it. We made it for that system and the surround sound systems, which I think is difficult to do in a live LAN party setup, but we could have fun with that.
Hell yeah. I mean, heck yeah. All right.
There you go. See, you clean up. Are you cleaning up your language for me? That's sweet.
There we go. Hey,
I really, really want like Morty to do an amazing video collection. We just show everything off and be like, I have this, and just talk about like how you got it, what it is. Oh my God, the fans would love that. Love it.
Okay.
Because you're a fan yourself. So like it's so lovely to see fans who are actually worked on something be proud of their projects. How many fans and like celebrities you see nowadays, they just shit all over everything. Whereas you are like, yes, I did this. This is awesome.
Well, I had Alex Seropian, the founder of Bungie, on my podcast on Friday, which you can go to and see right now. And at one point we were talking about Marathon. And I held up of my sealed copy of Marathon 1, which came out in whatever, 93 or something. And Alex was like, oh, you got a sealed copy. And then I asked him, do you have any sealed copies of this? And he goes, I think I have a sealed copy of everything I ever shipped. Wow. So he's not the only one. A lot of us, the first one off the line, we say, well, I'm going to take that and put it on the shelf because I'm proud of that. So
that's cool. That's nice. You got a little history shelf.
Yeah, I do. It's a history closet, actually.
I'm trying to find what Marathon would on price charting. I'm trying to find that because I'm curious what a sealed copy of that would be.
Okay. Marathon 1, first marathon.
I'm also still looking for your picture with Captain Kirk. I'll find it. I'm digging. I'm going through everything. I got pictures of you at the inauguration. I got pictures of you everywhere, but the scrolling continues here. But we'll get there.
Yeah, it's weird. China doesn't seem to have Marathon.
Yeah. Marathon was originally a Mac game. So
the first Marathon was Mac only. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, man, time is flying. I can't even believe we're at this.
Yeah, point. I've interrupted your whole normal flow.
There is no normal flow on this show.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, it's good. Nathaniel says, God, yes, I had to send you that. Bless you, Marty. Your work is among the best, not just in gaming, but in entertainment. As a fellow believer, I am happy to know I'll get to enjoy your creations in heaven. There we go.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thanks much.
That's good.
I'm going to circumvent your Google search. So just if I'm looking down, it's because I'm going to search through my photos and I'll send it to Blabs.
Sounds good. Yes. I love that. Thank you very much. Let's see. We also have this from Armis. Says, can't believe something like that could happen to Jeremy. I loved his music and games since he was a kid. Also, what an honor to meet you, Marty. Also, Oblivion Remaster find, kind of for me. Lastly, hi, Blabs and Craig. Montez. Thank you so much, Armis. Appreciate that. All right. We do have a lot to get to today, but first we need to read this from Modest. and I'm going to read this in the best Italian as I possibly can. Hey, bada bing! So Blabs is going to dress like an ethot during the Twitch channel burn down. Oh, wait. You don't get in trouble for degenerate behavior if you're an ethot on Twitch. Arrivederci, mi amicis.
It's true.
Here we go.
They want you to do that stuff. They encourage it.
All right. We got about 30 more minutes with Marty, so let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. Friends, it's time for hard news. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna bypass a lot of stuff here, Blabs, because I'm just gonna go right to the Oblivion stuff because we were talking Oblivion before we started the show. So we'll come back to that stuff after Marty says au revoir today. The big news last couple days was I'm gonna say shadow drop, but the quick drop of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. It came out yesterday, right before our show. And everybody, and I mean everybody, is playing that game right now. Currently with 143,000 people playing the game. I'm curious, did you guys have any sort of metrics to be able to track that type of data back in the Halo days, like the Halo 1 and 2?
Halo 2, definitely, because we had that. I'm pretty sure it was Halo 2 where we had the map of the world with dots, and glowing things. So we had something. Yeah, we had something. Halo 1, not so much. We couldn't tell when people were playing Halo 1 LAN, right? You just didn't know. All we could track was how many units we'd sold. So that was pretty cool. Do you recall seeing any of those numbers? I'm just curious to see how something like that would compare. I am not the numbers guy. I'm a creative. Yes. Actually, I'm a biz guy too. So I've started businesses, and I worked to get Bungie out of Microsoft, and I negotiated with the powers that be at Microsoft. But when it comes to numbers, I can be off by a factor of 10 easily. So I don't know. It's good because we have 763,000 people watching us right now. Oh, I may be off. 7.3 million is what I remembered. That's right. It's good. I'm also not very good with numbers, which is why Blabs is here to correct me. I can deal with numbers. I just forget them. I honestly they don't stay in my head. Phone numbers, addresses, zip codes. It's like a shock to me when I'm buying something and suddenly they'll say, "What's your zip code?" I'm like, I can't remember. It's just horrible. 6. That's right. It begins with, let me think. So, well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that people have been loving Oblivion. The game has done really, really well. Obviously, we talked about that. Everyone's playing it. Everybody's enjoying it. Some people have praised it as the best remaster ever in the 24 hours since it's been out. It's reviewed very well on Steam, but it hasn't gone over totally perfectly, as there's been one noticeable change that people have been talking about, which is the shift in the character creation from man and woman to body type 1 and body type 2. We talked about this previously yesterday. Marty, first and foremost, your thoughts on this? Well, you know what I'd prefer you to do is go to my latest tweet. I tweeted it just before I came on. So you'll see what I think. It's almost like we're coordinated. We're in sync here. Yes, here we go. We have this tweet from Marty O'Donnell just a short time ago. Marty, I'm going to let you read that in your own voice here. Oh, certainly. Oblivion 1:27 states, "So Todd created characters in their own image. In the image of Todd, they created them. Body type 1 and body type 2, they created them." There you go. So yeah, pretty clever, don't you think? I mean, I agree. But here's the thing: clever sometimes doesn't hit on X. Well, you have to sort of know the Bible. You got to know Genesis to begin with. But there it is. Yes. Well, some people have taken to the idea of modding out this. And mods are a big thing with all PC games, and so people have started to create mods to where body type 1 and body type 2 are no longer a thing, and it reverts back to how the game originally was with man and woman. Now, they didn't change the dialogue, so there's still he and she are the only words used for personal pronouns in the whole game. And I think there's an entire mission where the mission changes if you're a female. So it seems like that seems like such a minor, unimportant, but it shines a spotlight on the sort of stupidity of changing history this way, and for no reason. It doesn't help anybody. They didn't change the game, so it doesn't mean anything.
And to further this home, Vera Dark, who joins us on the show every couple of weeks, says, I don't think anyone's shocked to see Bethesda make this decision. Will it ruin the entire experience? No. But if it's quote not a big deal, then why change it in the first place?
Exactly.
You know? But it is a big deal to a lot of folks, so much so that people are modding it. But in doing so, creating these mods, several mods have been pulled from mod. They're being censored and removed because they're deemed as offensive or derogatory. But there are other mods on other websites that have actually caused their websites to crash because so many people want this mod to happen.
Wow.
So kind of interesting to see the resistance. So yeah, it's amazing. Do you think that I'm a big believer, I think you have to pick your battles, right, when it comes to this stuff. But the idea of body type 1 versus body type 2, like everybody knows that body type 1 is a man, and everybody knows body type 2 is a man. And you speak of that individual quest in the game where you have to be, it changes if you're a man or a woman. Like, and we haven't seen this quest play out yet. At least I haven't seen it. Do they refer to you as body type 2 in the game?
No, they don't. In the game, they say he and she. And besides, it's a little misogynistic to have the man body type be number 1. What does that mean?
They just say that women are number 2.
That's right. I think it's, I know. That's not good.
How will it ever recover from that? I don't know. And you're right, that it screams misogyny. So
I feel oppressed.
Good for you, Blabs. Welcome to the club. Congratulations. All right. Well, we'll continue to follow Oblivion because, hey, it's a big game right now and everybody's checking it out. So you can go get your Oblivion Remastered male, female body type. This is over on tulpatown.itch.io. There you go. So you can go find it over there. Yes. You can find that mod. We'll won't link it in the chat. We will not. But all right, let's go and move on to another hot topic in the gaming space. And that is the Switch 2. Marty, I would love to hear your thoughts on the announcement of the Switch 2 and just your overall thoughts on what they're building over there.
Well, all I've heard, I'm a fan of the Switch, but because I'm a huge, I love Mario, I love Mario Kart, and I love Zelda. I've believe it or not, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I've played both of those 2 times through, and the second time on whatever, it's not called Heroic, I forget what it's called. But anyway, I get obsessed with the Zelda games. So I'm going to get a Switch 2. And it doesn't, based on inflation and how much it costs to make a game, and frankly, the quality of games that Nintendo makes, I'm not all that upset. I can see why people are like, wow, that's a lot of money. And I get that. But it doesn't seem... Now, did I hear someplace, or maybe you said it before the show, that they're having trouble keeping up with supply anyway? So it doesn't seem to be affecting sales at this point.
Well, I'm glad you teed up the softball for me there, Marty. Thank you very much. Yes, this is crazy because we've talked about how Nintendo apparently has a bunch of Switch 2s already in the States. They're already in warehouses, ready to go. Pre-orders are opening up, I think, tomorrow at various locations. But in Japan, the Switch 2 demand has greatly exceeded what Nintendo was prepared for, according to the CEO. Now, what's interesting about this, and we'll kind of just go through this article here, according to Furukawa, who is the Nintendo president and CEO, despite Nintendo anticipating a high demand and making necessary preparations to ensure a large supply, the amount of pre-order applications they've received in Japan has far exceeded expectations significantly. So with that said, the numbers that Nintendo has publicly said was that they expected to sell 20 million units in 2025. That was their expectation. Now, when I read this and I see that the Nintendo, that the high demand was higher than they actually, exceeded expectations significantly, let's play the Price is Right game here. Blabs, did you read this article?
I did, so I can't play.
Okay, so Marty, they're going to sell 20 million units this year.
Mm-hmm.
If they are looking at, and they say this has exceeded their expectations significantly, how many like pre-order requests do you think they've received?
Oh, pre-orders. That's a good one.
These are just people like applying to pay. Yes.
I would be guessing the 10%, 15% to 2.5 million, maybe 3 million.
Ooh, man, what a good guess. Yes. 2.2 million applications.
See, I say I'm not good with numbers, but I'm good with business. So
remember that. Let's go. Good for you, Marty. That's good. Yeah. So 2.2, but I guess that's where I kind of come from as a that's a non. I don't know. I look at that and I say you were expecting to sell 20 million units, and you're saying that 2.2 million units far exceeds your expectations. I don't know. To me, that's
pre-orders. They're an indicator of what's going to happen when people start buying, and they probably haven't even already manufactured that many, because they're expecting to, once the manufacturing starts and they see the flow into the stores and distribution, then they crank it up or slow it down a little bit. So they probably were not expecting that many pre-orders, because that's quite a commitment from the consumer. So
yeah, and that's just in Japan as well. The 2.2 million. And
yeah, that's crazy.
I saw people tweeting about how there's people waiting in line. Like you remember the days of the midnight release. Apparently,
those are my favorite days, by the way. My favorite moments in game that was during the Magic era. That was the Camelot era of game making. It was when we would have a release, and Xbox released at midnight, Xbox 2 midnight. Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST Reach were all midnight releases. I love that period.
Well, they are. GameStop is doing midnight releases for the Switch 2, so that's going to be cool. So we've seen them announce that. But here's the thing, right? They talk about the pre-orders for in stores will begin April 24th. That is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, so 10 a.m. Central. Midnight releases will be held in the same stores June 5th. So when it launches. And I've seen reports, or I guess not reports, but just posts of people who are already in line, like right now, to pre-order.
To pre-order. Oh yeah, my gosh.
Just to pre-order. So they're over 24 hours waiting in line for the Switch.
I haven't even watched anything about it. Like, is it substantially look different than the Switch one? Okay, that's amazing. That's cool.
It's pretty much the exact same thing. The only difference is that there is you can take the Joy-Cons and turn it into a mouse. And
okay.
So outside of that, it's just a more powerful version of the Switch. They've added a few things, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. When you go to the store now, you're buying more or less. Blaz, what do they call it? It's a key card, not a game card. Where
it's a game key card, basically.
Game key card, yes, to where you have to put there's no data on the actual card itself, but it's more or less meant to be it's
a key for a download.
It's a piracy.
Oh, I see.
You download it, and if you have the card that you put in, then you can play the game after you download it.
Okay, which means you could give your Switch to your little brother or sister or a friend, as long as they have the key card. So see, I like that idea. If that's the way it's going to work, sort of protects the software manufacturer people, the people who have the developers are protected, but the consumer actually owns a real thing, owns a thing they can take with them. And it's not just, you're no longer connected to the internet. Yeah. And by the way, overnight, we just, erased a bunch of data from your machine because you don't own it. I hate that.
You're a big fan of physical media.
I am.
Yeah.
But we've already talked about my age.
He's got a closet.
He has a closet, which is excellent.
Closet, yes.
Good for you, Marty. Yeah. a closet full of retirement for your children.
I still have, actual file folders, not.
Well, look at that.
Oh, yeah. This is, look, here's my Japan trip, 2015,
Ooh.
2025. I'm going to Japan. So I'll be in Kyoto next fall.
Ooh,
I've been
fun.
there before, and I got friends there, and so I'm going with another friend. And I love Japan; it's great. So, by the way, have you been to Japan? Either of you
Yes,
yet?
Oh,
I
yes.
went last fall
Okay.
actually.
Okay. Did you go to the electronics area where you?
Yeah, in
Mhm.
I mean,
Tokyo.
yeah, I was so blown away by so many games that I've never even heard of. Just
Mhm.
millions, I swear, just row after row of these Nintendo games. Nintendo One, Dream, whatever it is. There's just so many games that never made it to the States.
Yeah.
Just what could have been.
Over in Akihabara, like people don't
Yeah, that's what
understand
it is. Yeah.
that is next level, and that is something that I would love to do. Like if we were trying to find an excuse to go out to Japan and do shows from Universal Studios Japan, like that'd be
Oh, okay.
spectacular. But then Blabs went out there and ruined it all. So we were she went out there in front of the show. No, but that's okay. We'll get there eventually, because Japan, when I say it's another world, it is truly another world.
Yeah.
Just from obviously a culture standpoint, but everything else, the food, it's crazy. I love it. Love to go back. All right. I'm still scrolling through your you know what? I did find this. Hold on, Marty. This is pretty damn cool, if I do say so myself. Look at you with somebody here. Look at this guy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's got multiple photos. I mean, you can share my screen too, Craig.
There's my Abbey Road picture. Yeah.
Blabs.
Ta-da!
Hey, there he is.
Hey, Blabs, way to go. That's what a great producer does, right?
What do you
there.
mean? Marty sent it to me. All I did was pull it up.
Oh, well then.
All right. Well, now,
I'm shit.
from now on, people will just be going to your screen. You should monetize that so you can.
We gotta put a watermark on it, okay?
There you go. Yes. There you go. Everyone, go to Side Scrollers Plus and support us over there. And
boy, both those pictures, I look less gray. Oh, okay.
Well, it's amazing what happens over time.
Isn't that weird? Oh man.
Yeah. Listen, I can definitely relate.
Even Paul McCartney has got a little more gray now. If you look at his recent pictures.
Good old Paul McCartney.
Good old Paul McCartney.
What was that like? Was it just a quick meeting, or did you actually sit down and actually have an opportunity to chat?
Oh, geez. I should I'll do a show about that sometime. But yeah, no, I worked with Paul for 2 years, and my first meeting with him was a couple hours long, and he gave me a big hug at the end. Then I had this full day with him at the Penthouse Studios at Abbey Road. He and his band were in New York. We went and recorded there. And then we had a 3-day session at Abbey Road for the final Music of the Spheres session. And Paul was there for one of the days. And so, yeah, and over the 2 years that I worked with him, I met him in several different locations. And so I got to know him pretty good. It was good.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. You got to know the greatest Beatle, some would say. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, I've said this before, but like, if I had a bucket list, like I've been able to work with some amazing people and have a lot of really cool actors and worked on great games. But based on my age and what the Beatles meant to me as a kid growing up, meeting Paul McCartney was definitely the number one bucket list thing. So, yeah, I can't go up from there. It's just all. There's nothing that's going to be. It's like whoever I meet in the future, it's going to be like, yeah, that's good. But I worked with Paul McCartney, so
I'll tell you this. While you love Paul McCartney, I had the same exact experience, except it's when I met Weird Al.
Yeah, Weird Al would be great. I wouldn't mind meeting old Weird Al. He's pretty fun.
Dude, I interviewed him probably a decade or so ago, and it was the only time in my entire life that I've ever been starstruck by somebody.
Yeah, I know. That's the way I felt about Paul too. I've worked with enough stars, and you just got to sort of be yourself and not be too impressed. But with Paul, I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually like playing the piano in front of Paul while he's sitting here, and I was just so nervous. And he was just like a normal human. It was fine. So, but that was probably the most starstruck I've been. I had to get over it.
He was just a normal man, as they say. It's good.
I've heard that someplace.
That's crazy. All right. I'll tell you who's not normal. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. There is a company that does tabletop games called Stonemaier Games. Are you familiar with this company at all?
No, not at all.
Well, they are really upset, and so much so that they are suing the president. So they are suing the president
of the United States. Okay.
Of the United States, as we are joining a lawsuit to challenge the president's unchecked authority to impose tariffs. We will not stand idly while our livelihoods and the livelihoods of thousands of other small business owners and contractors in the U.S., along with the customers whose pursuit of happiness we hold dear, are treated like pawns in a political game. Like many tabletop publishers, we started print runs on products before the president took office. Now we face an unprecedented $14.50 tariff tax for every $10 we spent on manufacturing with our trusted long-term partner in China. So, anyways, yeah, they're suing them over the tariffs. Would love to hear your thoughts on just this whole idea.
Well, good luck with that. Welcome to the world of international trade and politics. Like, did you think doing manufacturing or dealing with communist China was just going to be a straight shot with no interference? I mean, somebody should have sort of factored in the risks of dealing with communist China. You're going to get mixed up in global politics. It's just silly that you're taking this as it's a shock to the business people. Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I as a actual ideological conservative, I used to be very much anti-tariff. If you read Milton Friedman's Free to Choose or any of Milton Friedman's stuff, there's a conservative argument against tariffs. I think that's changed, especially I started seeing it during the COVID period. Now, Donald Trump has been preaching this since he was as young as Craig and maybe even younger. So it's a long time that this is a Donald Trump thing. Nobody should be surprised by Donald Trump believing this is the way to go. But during COVID, we couldn't get pharmaceuticals because they're all being manufactured in China. And I'm like, wait, when do we depend on normal, prescription medicines and over-the-counter drugs, and we're dependent on communist China to provide this stuff for us? Like, how did we get into that position? It's just, it was a slow erosion where we allowed that to happen. And I think Donald Trump is doing the right thing. And people should just relax a little bit. Now, it might cause some pain. There might be some rejiggering. I think it's the right thing to bring a lot of manufacturing back over time to the United States. We've stopped being a manufacturing country, and now we're just a consumer country, and that doesn't bode well for the future. So I think changing that is a good thing. Yeah, it's disruptive. Donald Trump and his people, they are not traditional ideological conservatives. They're populists. They're interested in doing radical change in a short amount of time, which is super interesting, and has sort of changed my mind about politics and how to do things and get things done. So it shouldn't be surprised to anybody. And of course, it's also ridiculous to think that the president of the United States, the executive branch, which is one of the three branches and is extremely powerful, that it can't wield some power. So this is one of the things the president can do. So suing the president over this is a lost cause. There you go.
No, I appreciate your perspective on that. And as pointed out, Marius says, great plan. They have obviously never heard of presidential immunity.
Right.
Yeah. It's amazing to see. I mean, look, you work with China, and I think this is something that's naturally, you should expect these things, or at least
and there's going to be negotiations. That's
right.
The other thing. Let's just wait and see how it all falls out. It's going to take a while.
How long do you think that, let's just, this is a tabletop game manufacturer. They use China for their products, whatever. Let's just say somebody wanted to get some sort of manufacturing for tabletop pieces up and rolling in the United States. Is that 6 months, 2 years? realistically, the idea of moving this stuff over to the United States, it sounds really good in theory, but it will take a lot of capital and startup to get that going.
Well, I mean, it just doesn't sound to me like if you're making tabletop, board games, what are you talking? Like cardboard and printing? So if suddenly it looks like if you stay with China, it's going to cost you $15 a pop more. I bet you there's some local cardboard printing people here in the United States that could use the gig for half that, right? I mean, I have a feeling you can figure out a way to find a new vendor and make a new deal. Maybe you got to postpone a few things. I don't know. I'm being simplistic about it, but I mean, come on. It's like the whole deal with a tariff is that the incentive will then be on the manufacturers of the United States to gear up and beat the price that would be coming from whatever international country it is, and you think about it, if you're getting, slave labor in China, and that's why you get your stuff manufactured so cheap so that it can come all the way over on some giant cargo ship, and shipping costs are still less than it is to manufacture in the United States. I have a feeling it won't be, we're not talking about making, tractors or something, or like giant machine tools that take forever to design, and it's a factory in China. That's a different thing. That could be a problem, but come on, board games,
right?
Yeah, I'm crying. Sorry, pals.
Well, there's a lot of
I wonder how that's going to be. I might have to change my bedside manner for Congress. I might be too blunt.
Well,
I like it though. It's refreshing.
It's refreshing and honest. Yes, it's good. That's what people want.
And by the way, think about it. If somehow I do get elected to Congress, you could have a podcast with a congressman on, huh?
Hey, let's go. People say we're a political podcast. Get the hell out of here.
Hey.
Let's go. Hey. All right. Well, I'll tell you, you got a couple more minutes with us. We do have some super chats directly for you. So, Blabs, let's go and fire off those supers for Marty.
Okay, so first of all, JJ says, Marty, can you tell us how far left Bungie became?
I can only tell by what I've seen over the last decade. I haven't been there in more than 10 years. So it was already a little bit on the left of center. Most of the people in the game industry on the dev side are left of center, which is fine. But I feel like Bungie, once a bunch of the original Bungies left Bungie, which is more than 10 years ago. It just seemed like it just kept going. I feel like the people in charge just wanted to push things further and further left, and now it's almost unrecognizable to me, at least.
Okay, and then there's one from Mercenary. He says, to Marty, I got Stan Lee to sign a comic for me. Also, Craig Weird Al's daughter goes to my martial arts school. Also, my sister got to meet him in person because his parents lived in that area, but I didn't.
Oh, sorry, Mercenary.
Sorry, Mercenary.
Sorry to get a chance to meet Weird Al.
Wasp over on Rumble says, question for Marty. How did you get freaking Steve Vai to work on Halo 2 with you? What was it like working with him?
Well, Nile Rodgers, who is a famous music producer from New York, got interested in the Halo music, set up a company to distribute video game soundtracks, and Halo 1 was the first. And he came to me and said, I can get you anybody you want. I can, for Halo 2, Marty, you got to get I can get you Steve Vai, I can get you Pink, I can get you, he just named all these. He can name drop everybody. So anyway, that's how it was. I said, yes, get me. And one day he called and he goes, Marty, get the studio ready. Steve Vai is coming into town. He wants to work with you. So that's how it was. And it was a blast. Steve was, if anybody knows anything about electric guitar, there's just nobody who is better. I mean, you might find some people who will say this is tied, but Steve Vai is at the top of the list. He was spectacular.
All right. And then Adam says, hey, Marty, was that photo with Paul when he was doing the song for Destiny?
Yes. And he also, the thing people don't know about that, because during my Destiny, soundtrack release period of time, I think there was some sort of legal issues I was going through. I can't remember exactly. Anyway, Paul actually worked on the entire Music of the Spheres soundtrack with me. He contributed to there's many places that Paul contributed compositional collaboration on the music for Destiny, not just the song.
Okay, and then the last question, well, it's not really a question, more of a statement, says Side Scrolls and Marty O'Donnell LAN Party can even add extended stuff to Plus to help push that as well. Regardless, sounds very cool.
All right, well, we've started it here today. This is a plan now. I've got it on my list. I'm going to do it. It's happening.
I think so. I think this is something
Nice.
we can help with it. We'll make it happen for sure. Abdulio finishes up, says, greetings, Side Scrollers and Marty. While I didn't hear of Jeremy's cancellation, I did hear stories from Bethesda making Elder Scrolls concerts with his music without Jeremy, which made him angry. I always figured that's why he stopped working with them. Thanks, Abdulio.
Yeah, composers in general are not necessarily treated great by the game industry. That's just a fact.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys can treat Marty great by going to martyforcongress.vote. You can head over there and help contribute to his campaign. Marty, I know you got to go, but give everybody a quick rundown. Let everybody know what you got going on.
That's what I got going on. I am running for Congress. I got a podcast. I'm actually also writing, in the process of writing a book, believe it or not.
Oh,
a little memoir about my days in the game industry. So.
Nice.
Awesome.
Can I get a signed copy?
Yes, you can.
Nice.
If you go to martyforcongress.vote.
If you go to Marty, I'm looking for Blabs. Donating. You can donate as little as you want, but $7 is a good place to start because 7 is a cool number, right?
It's a magic number.
There you go.
All right. Hey, Marty, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Marty.
Everybody.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
All right. You can find Marty's information down below. We'll put that in the description.
I get a book.
All you need to do is donate. That's good. We'll I'm sure we'll have Marty on multiple times as we get closer to everything. All right. We still have a lot of show to go, guys. Marty was only with us for the first hour. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button if you guys enjoyed that discussion. It's always fun to have guests on, whether they join us for 15 minutes or the full show. And now you get me and Blabs for the rest of it, which is awesome. So deal
Suckers.
with it. Aha. We are 8 of our goal of 20 yellow super chats into it today. Let's get to Montez today. Looking forward to reaching that. Give it up for Fernandez R, who became a brand new Plus member over at sidescrollersplus.com. The countdown has begun, Blabs. We are now 18 away from 500.
Yeah.
Open up the new tab. Join us right now. Use promo code PLUS. Get $10 off, and let's keep going. Missing Jin says, if Marty wins every time he enters a room, they need by law to play the Halo theme.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Mercenary says, you missed one for Marty. You're both fired. Sorry.
I didn't miss anything. You were going on a tangent about how it wasn't Marty you were talking about, so I didn't want to waste Marty's time on a super chat when I could answer his questions. But I will pull it up for you now. Where is it? Let's see. Also, I am boycotting Oblivion and angered me off. So we don't want to know what triggers you off or on. Thank you, Mercenary. He also says I wasn't allowed to meet Weird Al thanks to my dad. My dad grounded me before I could met. No reason. There's that. And I think that's all we have from you, Mercenary. Thanks. Oh, wait, here it is. Morning, Marty. It wasn't you at Comic-Con. My mistake confusing you with Frank. I still have Halo 1 PC and box. Hope to get it signed someday.
Hey,
thanks, Mercenary.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Hey, Harriet Tubman is here, Blabs.
Oh, what's up, Tubby? Sometimes I wish Marty would have seen this, but then it might have gotten him canceled. Anyway, Harriet Tubman for 10 says, dudes, change to body type 1 and 2 in character creation, but then don't follow through where it counts in gameplay. The left doesn't even realize how big of an L that actually is. Gangs Tub out. I agree.
It's good to see you, Harriet. Marius came in and says, the way I see it, those who pre-order / apply for the Switch 2 are going to be the most hardcore fans. I think Nintendo are overestimating. In the months following release, sales will likely drop. I don't disagree with you, but I think the Switch 2 is going to kill. I don't think it's going to do what the Switch 1 did, but it's still going to do excellent. Dylan says, sorry, but the president can establish tariffs. Has been able to since the time of Jefferson. Working with China makes you a loser. Thank you, Dylan. Hey, give it up for Wicked Virtue. Thank you so much for the raid over on Kick. If you guys are still hanging out, make sure you hit the follow button. I'm closing in on 1,000 followers over on Kick, which is awesome. Good to see everybody over there. All right, Blabs.
Yes.
I have bad news for you.
Oh no. Am I fired again?
No. Well, you may be.
It ends in Y.
I may be hiring a baby and a dog to do your job.
I saw this. Weird.
We're cooked, y'all. This is obviously AI. I have resigned as of right now because we are done. If you didn't see this video getting passed around, this is absolutely genius. And this is why we want to have a job in 3 weeks.
Welcome to the Talking Baby podcast. On today's episode, we'll be talking to the weird-looking person who lives at my house. Thanks for being here, weird-looking person.
Well, thanks for having me. As you know, you are my third favorite person in the world, third behind the two larger people that we also live with. They're both awesome. So cool. You're fine, you know, and right now those two larger people are both busy and not paying attention to me at all. So happy to chat with you.
So to kick things off, I want to ask you a question, and I apologize in advance if it's naive or ignorant. Look, I'm a baby. I don't really know stuff yet, so just keep that in mind. So my question is this. What are you? Like, you clearly seem to be a very different kind of person than I am. Am I right? Like, because like people look different from each other, you know, like different sizes, skin tones, the hair. But you, I have no idea what's going on. Does this make any sense to you? Am I crazy?
Oh, no.
I don't like it.
Oh, you don't like it?
I don't like it's too good. Like even if you look at like their paw and their fingers, like the baby's fingers, it's not deformed or weird. Like it's pretty good. Like the little details. Look at the fur of the dog. Like
are you threatened, Blabs?
You know what instantly came to mind? So I saw Lady Desiree's tweet, and I totally agree with that. With like Homeward Bound meets what was it? Look Who's Talking Now. That's the name of it, right? Yeah, totally think of that those two movies combined. But also, you know those YouTubers who make skits of people and like they give them like ad lib or like voicing like Aussie Man reviews where he like ad libs like you know dogs and cats and all that. Like this is what comes to mind, that even they are going to be replaced now because we don't even need you. We got AI to do everything for us. You can create a whole skit without actually finding the footage and then reacting to it. You can just do it all yourself now. Like,
you know what I love most about this? The dog's headphones aren't even on its ears.
That's true. It's like on its neck.
I love that.
I didn't even notice that.
It's really freaking funny. The conversation is actually really funny though. That between the dog and the baby
with their parents, like, I like the larger ones better.
It's really pretty good, and I don't know. I'm just ready to, you know, I saw people in the chat saying it's Facebook slop. It's like, yeah,
kind of.
But at the same time, can you not admire the extreme, incredible technology around it and realize why we will all be making our way to VTuber avatars very soon?
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. All right. Sorry, I just wanted to let everybody know about our impending doom. So thank you for that. Worthy One says, sorry for not making the WrestleMania watch party. Real world stuff happened. Hope you enjoyed the show. I did up until the last match, much like everybody else. So Mac says to Marty, sorry.
Yeah, this came in after Marty left for clarification.
Oh, sorry, Mac. Sorry we missed that.
I think he was on a delay over the stream.
Maybe a delay. Well, thanks, Mac. Sorry about that. Probably going to get that answered. Canna says, do you guys plan to dual stream the Twitch nuke on locals? I'd hate to see something like that glorious get lost to time.
I think we should, and then we'll leave it for Plus members only.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It'll be a Plus and Twitch exclusive because we can't do those things on YouTube because we'll get that channel banned too.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, we got to get to 500 members over on Plus. Like I said, we are 18. Let's freaking do it today. Let's freaking go today.
We need Shia LaBeouf to come into the room and just do it.
Do it. Let's go. Hey,
or like Nike, either one.
Silo Full of Cool Ranch Doritos came and says, for 1,000 member side scrollers, should an attempt be made to recreate Top Gear Special where the guys bought used cars with a certain trigger phrase and drove from Miami to Texas? You want to do like you want to do one of those what are they called? Shotgun things? Yeah, where we just drive. That'd be that's a horrible idea, but thank you for that. Listen,
terrible.
We got to get to 500 first, then we'll unveil the 1,000 later. So Was says, Kerry King, guitarist for Slayer, played at WrestleMania last night. That wasn't on my bingo card. Yeah, and Damian Priest, the guy who he played for, lost. Sad day. Thanks, Was. Appreciate that. All right, let's continue on. Let's get to our Montez goal today. Marius says, I think most people are not willing to engage with AI as a means of replacing human interaction. If it is innate for most people to crave human interaction. Thank you, Marius, and thank you for interacting with us in this wonderful, wonderful way we do. Ryan says, I dislike most AI videos. If I click on a video /short, especially about history, and I hear an AI voice, I find a different video. It sounds too fake.
Yeah, I agree with this. So anytime I hear like the stupid little AI stuff on like Instagram, because I don't have TikTok, and it's like get ready with me, and it's in that stupid AI voice, I just scroll away. I'm like, it just doesn't sound very genuine. It sounds very forced and not authentic. It's not my thing.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of not our thing, let's talk Pokimane. Okay.
You know what's funny? Every time we talk about Pokimane and I say something negative, it's like, oh, she's just jealous of Pokimane. She has a hate boner for Pokimane. I'm like, when do I actually talk about this woman on like for real? It's wild. But they're gonna tell me I have a hate boner now for making fun of her. But I have not seen anything either.
Oh, you haven't? You haven't seen?
No,
this?
remember this morning I thought you were actually saying like she was arrested.
No. Okay, well, I'm going to appease your hate boner here, Blabs, for Pokimane. And I want you to read Pokimane's tweet here.
Oh, goody.
This tweet has 21.4 million views. This is a couple days ago, and I wanted to talk about this yesterday when we did Pokimane Talk, but I'm so infatuated by the sheer entitlement that this woman, like, she is so
just admit you're a broke boy.
Listen,
we need that audio. I should get that audio line. Just like, boop. Just admit you're a broke boy.
Here we go, Blabs. Go and read off Pokimane's tweet.
I got a weird influx of weirdos commenting on my age, lol. To be honest, I find it so dumb. At 28, I'm the happiest, richest, most knowledgeable, and self-assured I've ever been. And that only becomes more true with every year that passes. Smiley face. Although I don't care about the comments, I do worry about the impact it has on other girls and women who see this type of harassment. And to them, I want to reassure you that life only gets better. Growing older will not make you miserable, but living your life to appease random shitty people definitely will.
So you can see that she has since locked who can reply to this right here. She's 28 years old. She's so happy.
She's literally 14 days older than me.
Oh my God. Does that just hurt?
That makes me gross.
Yeah. So there is a content creator named Pilps, and Pilps quote tweeted this, and it has ratioed her so many times over. This tweet had 50,000 likes. His tweet has over 100,000 likes on it. And I want you, I'll say, I will read this, and this is long. Yeah. I got it, Blabs. I'm going to read this. I'm going to get through this whole thing, or maybe I'll tag you in.
For you.
Yeah, I know, Blabs. I know. Relax. It's just all right.
These are paragraphs, so you're going to be okay.
Okay, it'll be all right. So but I want you to listen to this, and this is long, but just kind of roll with this. You're 28, Maine, not 18, not 80. But every year you get more self-assured and somehow less self-aware. This isn't growth. It's arrested development in high definition. Streaming hours at a time daily since adolescence didn't empower you. It just froze you in digital puberty. Oof. You talk like a life coach, post like a thirst trap, and react like a teenager whose ego is held together by brand deals and soft lighting. This isn't harassment. It's grown adults pointing out that grown adulthood doesn't look like this. As if life really gets better every year, why do you still act like you're one comment away from spiraling into a subtweet? If this is confidence, why does it only show up when there's a camera and a curated audience? You didn't outgrow the internet. You just aged into it like spoiled milk with a ring light, preserved by validation, paid for by the same men who sexualize you into a career and you deny you capitalized on. This isn't targeted hate. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that the bubble you've built full of orbiters, yes men, and men with spare cash who defend you for a crumb of attention isn't reality. And it clearly rattled you to discover that outside of your curated echo chamber, not everyone knows you, likes you, and wants to see a grown woman caption "Angie" with her cleavage staged like a thumbnail, which that was the previous tweet that she had. That's not empowerment. It's arrested development wrapped in a push-up bra, craving for attention. And most people don't find infantilized thirst traps endearing. They find them sad. You're pushing 30, but still living like a girl whose future is stuck buffering, pausing real life just long enough to keep the illusion playing. So here's the thing. It's not black and white. It's not some simple, quote, weird influx of weirdos commenting on my age that you've convinced yourself of. It's not just the internet being mean to you. The reality is the average adult, the ones who isn't lost in your bubble, doesn't want to see a grown woman sexualizing herself for attention, no matter how much she tries to wrap it up in the guise of, quote, being knowledgeable and self-assured. The truth is, you've made your career off sexualization, and yet you'll never fully admit it because you've convinced yourself you're more than that. But the longer you keep pretending, the more you'll realize that it's not the world that's the problem. It's you're still acting like you've got something to prove at 28, when honestly, you're just holding on to a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. Grow up. And here's the irony. Your entire career is built on appeasing random shitty people. But these, quote, shitty people you're worried about, the ones criticizing you for your age and your looks, are just as shitty as the ones who sexualize you and throw their money at you. You spent years building a career that thrives on attention, both from people who want to elevate you and from people who reduce you to nothing more than a commodity. The truth is, you've let both sides feed your ego, but you'll never admit it because they're the same people who keep you in business. So maybe it's time to realize growing older won't make you miserable. It's selling out to the same people you pretend to not care about. That's the real trap. The self-inflicted cage that stunted your maturity far worse than any comment or harassment.
Fatality.
I had to put that in. Wow. Brutality, fatality, finale. Wow. Yeah, that was it. She got wrecked.
I mean, wow. Yeah, 1000%. And naturally, she's gone on the victimization train because of this.
Oh, did she?
Mm-hmm,
Could she reply? Did she quote tweet it?
No, she was just talking about it on her stream, which we'll get to that in a little bit. But this guy has definitely taken the brunt of this. Now, I reached out to him via DM. I was like, hey, I would love to get your perspective on this. He never got back to me. Like I said, I'd much rather talk with people than about people.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't get back to me, and that's cool. So we're gonna get to it anyways. But at least the offer was there. This started to gain traction. He says, to save everyone time, because sadly this is now gaining traction. No, I don't care about her personally, just the hypocrisy. Yes, attention is the currency of the internet. No need to pretend it's anything else. No, I'm not jealous, just pointing out the irony of selling yourself short for likes. If you're here to say she's living her best life, keep in mind the real trap is selling out to the same people you pretend to ignore. honestly, the whole "I ain't reading that" or TLDR bit became a tired joke 5 years ago. Why are we out here praising short attention spans for something like that? And by the way, that's the thing that you see consistently down here. You see a lot of people down on the bottom saying, like, talking about I ain't reading all that. Holy shit, whatever.
Yeah, like too long, didn't read. You wrote a paragraph, good for you. I'm sure you're happy, whatever it is. Yeah, those things.
Right. So he's been dogpiled on by the fans here, and this is
Her simps have come to save their woman.
Yes.
Who will never ever give them any speck of love ever.
So he pulled this up. It's the infamous 9/11.
Dear Lord.
Sir, you ratioed Pokimane in less than 24 hours. Well, it's been fun, chaps. Thanks for the death threats, rape threats, dox attempts, and a shiny 12-hour community guidelines cooldown for my troubles. And a special shout out to the OnlyFans whores who somehow thought bringing up sex in response to a critique about over-sexualization was a flex. Real awareness is clearly your strong suit. Oh, and thank you to all the scholars out there calling it a novel and an essay, considering it took less than 10 minutes and an espresso pod.
Fatality.
I'm gonna use that a lot on this guy. This guy is like murdering everybody left and right. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this guy's on fire. And I'd love to give him on to talk about this. Seems pretty great. He said, I've even getting private DMs from massive game studio PR managers agreeing with my critique on Pokimane and streamers as a whole now, requesting I don't disclose their identity. Damn, streamers are more insufferable than I even imagined, right? So he's getting hit up by people who are like, oh, I love what you're saying. Does that not sound familiar? I love what you're saying.
I just can't agree publicly.
I just can't agree publicly. Get fucked, idiots over there. So it's amazing to see that. I mean, that was one of the most brutal takedowns I've ever seen.
It's honest, and it applies to not only Pokimane, but all of these thoughts, all these Kick thoughts, Twitch thoughts, YouTuber thoughts, all of them. It applies to all of them on OnlyFans, every single one of them.
Jeez. Well, Pokimane did get emotional.
Rest in peace.
She shared her thoughts about the recent dramas.
No, there's more.
It's weird to think about how many people have opinions about me, especially people who probably like never consumed any of my content, which is understandable. Like that's just what happens probably when you're online for so long. But my main point is actually, as much as sometimes it bothers me to feel like my name is known in circles that I don't affiliate with or that are not a part of my community, the upside is sometimes I'll bring such nice people to my defense and I'm like I'm shocked. My heart is warm.
The Sim saved me. I'm so appreciative. Oh my God. Thank you, Simps. Oh gosh.
It's awesome. It's awesome stuff.
She's just full of shit, man.
Yes. It goes back to she's in her own bubble. Let's finish this.
Own juice. Let it out.
I see people stand up for me that I never expect to, especially other streamers and stuff. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
He just said he wants to do a Pokethon. I was in the middle of something.
All right, whatever. I don't.
In the middle of something. Ugh.
I think she's a plant.
Like Mr. Beast.
I don't understand it. Like,
she got in early, and that's why. That's what I think. I don't think she's a plant or anything. I think she's just the dumb bimbo who lucked out, who got in early, just like Amaranth. They got in early, they made all their money, and a bunch of people followed suit, and they just weren't as popular or as famous. But because she was the first one in, she blew up. I think that's what it comes down to. So many of these big streamers, too. First ones in, they're not even that great of streamers, right? But they're so famous and everything that, yeah, kind of like that. Like XQC, I don't find him all that great to entertain to watch. Oh, shit, this is crazy, shit. Like, no. He's just one of the first ones in, basically, right?
Blabs, your hate boner is showing.
Why? Because, see, this is the problem here.
Oh, no. Well,
Anyway.
the response is Tactical Nuke over here, the Pilps Tactical Nuke. This bro thinks he has a PhD in maturity. He said, no PhD needed, just basic adulthood. Maybe try it without emojis next time.
So many adults are children.
Oh, yes. And this goes back to the idea of arrested development, like Blabs learned what arrested development is earlier today. Blabs,
You did. I thought you were actually saying like she was arrested development, like it's a developing story. That's what I thought you were talking about. I'm like, she got arrested. I'm not looking. I'm not clicking.
Nope. No. She
I'm
didn't
just
actually-
retarded. It's fine.
Yeah. Ian says, you guys have a hate bone for Pokimane. He or she is a very talented Canadian. Hashtag tax everyone but me. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate your bravery. Marius says animality because the guy went beast mode.
Yep. All the fatalities. Yeah.
There you go. Ian says total thought patrol victory. Pokimane eternally felted. Marmalade for 10 says, damn, should have asked Marty what he's willing to lose his seat over. The Pilps DMs reminded me of that. What are these game industry quote pros willing to lose their seats over? Grow a spine. Thanks, Marmalade. Ian came back, says she's not a plant. Plants absorb carbon, which is useful. She is not.
Not wrong.
And Mary says, why are you so jealous of Pokimane, Blabs?
I'm honestly not. I'm really not.
Your hate boner showing.
See every time, man.
Hobocop.
I'm not actually jealous. Your hate bar is showing. Okay.
It just I'm here to trigger you today, Blabs.
It's
all right.
fine. It's all right. Next, you're gonna tell me that Black Snape was always sticking to the source material, and I'm just gonna lie down on the floor. Whatever.
Yeah, hey, you go to the source. Go to the source material. And
Yeah, actually, he was always there. He was always black.
speaking of, Brother Snape says I met the Undertaker. He's 5'3" in real life. Brother Snape, I don't think that's accurate. We have Epsilon Sama. Good to see you again. Says hashtag deport Pokey. No, we're not going to deport anybody unless she's a gang member. Is she
part of MS-13.
Right.
She got the knuckles to show.
Wouldn't that be amazing if Pokimane was actually a member of MS-13?
Yeah, what a wild timeline.
Hobocop says so many retards are getting felted. Whoa, buddy. Thank you so much, Hobocop. Joey says, so Pokimane has been nuked on the internet and she's crying about it. Her statement made me want to throw up in my mouth. She calls herself a confident woman, but makes a career on seeking validation from men.
If you're just a broke boy, just say it. Huh? God, so soy.
Joey, thanks for being a not broke boy today. Appreciate that. Mercenary says, I agree with Blabs and her hate boner for Pokimanes.
Yep.
Dennis says, apparently nobody told Pokimane that being a celebrity and putting her face on there means every liquored up hillbilly with a social media account will have an opinion on her. That's right. We are liquored up hillbillies here on Side Story.
That's right. And like you can even compare this to Pokimane is a nobody when it comes to, let's say, comparing her to Zendaya or Sydney Sweeney, right? And just think about all the bullshit they go through. And they're not even really putting their opinions out there like she is, right? They're just famous because they're celebrities and actors. Yeah, so she's got nothing on the actual women who do something in life and not just stare at a camera and go, you're a broke boy, just say it.
Okay. Canna for $2.5 says, let them eat $30 cookies. Obviously. Yeah, that's good. We should have a $30 donation alert. It's like cookies or something like that.
Apply.
Snooty Provides says, is everyone here going to try online pre-order? Blabs vs. Metroid was awesome.
I think he's talking about Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I'm sure. I will try, but honestly, I'm not like super. I'm probably gonna hold off. If I think about it, sure. If I don't, that's fine too. I'm not super concerned about it.
I don't plan on buying the Switch, to be honest. I barely used my first one.
And by the way, guys, I did a horrible job yesterday at the tail end of the show. We did not raid the Blabs versus premiere. So definitely go check out Blabs versus over on YouTube. You can find it on our YouTube channel. It's right there. There's a playlist. We'd love for you guys to check it out. It's a pretty damn good episode. And you get to see what she's doing next, which is excellent.
Yep.
Joey says, Blabs, those are women who actually bring something to the table, unlike Pokimane.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at least Zendaya and all these chicks, they're busting their asses working. Maybe they're working, you know, they did something with Harvey Weinstein, but at least they fucking did something. As terrible as it sounds, but at least they're busting their asses still. What is she doing? Crying in front of a screen on a bed?
Making cookies, Blabs.
They're not even hers. That's the worst part. Like, they're not even hers. She just partnered.
All right. I have a question for you, Blabs.
Oh, no. What?
Do you
What
know
else
who-
is going to trigger me?
Do you know who Peewee Herman is?
Wasn't he, like, arrested or something like that? And didn't he die?
Okay, yes. Paul Rubens, the guy who played Peewee Herman, died. He died a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, he was arrested for indecent exposure while being at a porn theater, like in the 90s. But before that, he was Peewee Herman. And I have not seen this yet, but HBO just dropped a trailer for a documentary on Paul Rubens called Peewee as Himself. And I wanted to check this out and react to it for the first time with you. Does that sound good?
Yeah, all right.
All right, sounds good. Let's check it out.
Guess what? I'm having a party.
Kids.
Yeah, I think he was in Spy Kids. Yes.
I really feel like he was.
So this is Paul Rubens is 1000% theater kid who just who found his character and made it.
This is Dylan Mulvaney's dream.
Yeah, just actually being a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peewee.
I mean, they're both playing dress up. They also have alter egos, but here we are. Seems super arrogant, if I'm being totally honest with you. Like what he was saying, those lines there, not exactly really
Not
appealing
exactly Peewee.
lines. Yeah. I grew up watching Peewee Herman, like loved Peewee Herman as a kid. Watched his first, I had his Broadway play on VHS tape, and I wore that shit out with my brother. We watched that all the time. It had Phil Hartman in it. Lawrence Fishburne was in it. It had a bunch of really well-known people in it before they were well-known. And they kind of rose alongside, parallel with Peewee Herman. Anyway, so yes, okay, I'm intrigued. 80s and 90s, I would expect that, but yeah, I don't know. So Blabs, you've never seen Pee-wee's Playhouse before?
No, I saw like bits and pieces. I'm just trying to see if he was actually in Spy Kid or not, but I don't see it. But I swear he looks like that dude who was in Spy Kid. But I guess I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyway,
Well, Paul Rubens, like, I would say that Pee-wee for me was such an influential character, which is crazy to think about. I mean, I was younger than my daughters are now watching Pee-wee, and Pee-wee's show was so bright and colorful, and it was so much different than anything you'd see on TV. I mean, the intro itself, I think, was like 2 minutes long to the show. It was so different, and those who grew up watching Peewee Herman, they know. And I remember vividly when hearing the news that Peewee Herman had been arrested. Peewee Herman's has been arrested. He was in a porno shop. He was in
totally not the character you thought.
It was the complete opposite, and being like, what? And then you saw the mug shot of him with a beard, and you looked like some skeezy like drug dealer guy. It was so jarring. Now they did come back, and they made a movie probably a decade ago on Netflix, like a new Pee-wee movie, which was okay. It was like nostalgia bait. I didn't think it was like super great, but Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I think for a lot of kids, that movie was a quintessential 80s movie, and they're going to talk about that in the doc. They reference.
Are you going to watch this documentary on Max?
I don't have Max.
So there's a no.
So there's that. And
if it wasn't on Max and if it was in theaters or something, would you go see it?
Certainly. Yeah. I don't know if I'd see it in theaters. If it was on
You'd wait for Blu-ray or something.
Netflix or Prime or something. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know.
This show got jerked off the air.
Hey, bada boom, hey, let's go. Where's my rim shot? There we go. Nice. All right.
By the way, they were saying it was Alan Cumming, who I kept thinking of Spy Kids, because he really does look like him. That guy with like the toy shop guy, whatever it is. Yeah, he looks just like him.
Brother Snape says Herman was a choir boy compared to stars today. He's a choir boy. Hobocop says, let's be real. How else is someone supposed to behave in a porn theater? Sip some wine and nod your head saying, quite amusing. That position indeed. I like that idea of someone walking into a porno theater and yes.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do, to be fair?
I would think that most people who go to porno theaters probably would be caught for indecent exposure the exact same way. Yes, for sure. That's never been to one, just throwing it out there, Anyways, that movie is launching soon, I suppose. I didn't see a date on it. So there you go. I think, May 23rd. May 23rd. Peewee has himself.
Ah, just in time for Universal Studios opening, the new park.
Hey, Pee-wee's Porn Palace and Universal Studios.
Universal Studios.
All right, let's go here. Let's go and finish strong with this. We are closing, and we are 5 yellow supers away from hitting our Montez goal. Let's keep the Montez train rolling today, baby. We got a nice little streak rolling, and I don't want that to stop today. Here we go. Ian comes in, helps us out, says, I was literally just thinking about how much, how my compatriot Alan Cummings looks like him. P.S. I'm not allowed to write it. You can't.
Isn't that wild? This is his last name. You can't even write it.
Switzerland says, how hard is it to share the name with Rosie Martin? Oh, O'Donnell. Okay. Also, ex Luigi is gay. Sorry about that, Switzerland. Sorry I didn't see that till just now. I appreciate your support. It's excellent. Max says, even Nintendo stopped manufacturing in China. The CCP is the enemy to all. And why everyone still thinks China is a good place to manufacture is beyond me. Thank you, Mac. Adam came in, says, the new Rune Factory for the Switch 2, if you buy the new Rune Factory for the Switch 2, if you buy the Switch 2 version, it can go in the Switch 1 and double as compatible for both. First, 64 gig Switch 1 game. Oh, thanks, Adam. Video Man came in with the 5, says, don't forget there are ModDB based mods and AFK mods as alternatives. Yes, thank you very much. Sorry for just getting to that. Rebound says, my rarest game is Chaos League. That is the game Cyanide was sued over by Games Workshop. They settled it, and terms were that they made Blood Bowl. Okay. I'm not familiar with Chaos League. Thank you, Rebound. Mighty came in, says another crappy gay tube joke. But here's a better one. Why don't Mexicans barbecue? Because the beans fall through the grill. Bada bing, oh.
Nah, not that good.
Raptor Kratos says, I'm sure Pokimane has never worked a day in her life.
I would love it if Pokimane actually went and worked on a farm.
I would love if Pokimane just went, that's something that is a phenomenal series that we should.
Pokimane on a farm.
No. That's been done before with Paris Hilton back in the 2000s. Do you remember that series?
I never watched anything to do with Paris Hilton.
No, that's how she got really, really famous outside of the sex tape. Yeah, she had a series where they took Paris Hilton out of the charmed life and they put her into
Stuck her in the blue collar. Nice.
Yeah, it was called The Simple Life. Thank you guys. Thank you for that in the chat. Yeah, it was The Simple Life, and it was her and her friend at the time, and it was a fish out of water story. That should 100% be done with streamers today. 1000%. Simple Life for streamers. Yes.
I remember this one person talking to me. I was telling them about a slaughterhouse, and because I've seen it all, right? And this guy was like, "Oh my god, that's wild!" I'm like, "How do you think the chickens get to the grocery store?" And he's like, I never thought about that. I'm like, "Holy fuck!"
Yep.
People just don't really apply 2 and 2 together. They just magically appear dead, all wrapped up and ready to go to be sold at the grocery store. Wild.
Don't think about it. It's not Friday. It is Wednesday, but we still got a few more minutes. I want to get to this last story here. But I do want to buckle our safety belts, Blabs, even though it's not Friday, and make our way to Clown World.
Oh, no.
Clown. Clown.
All right, Blabs, here we are. We
I
have.
haven't seen this. I don't know where we're going.
Oh boy, here we are. Check this out. This tweet has 5 million views on it over on X. So, daughter wants to go to a concert with friends. She no longer masks. How are parents of older teens / young adults supposed to be navigating this COVIDing life? She is concerned that she may
This was
catch
posted
COVID.
3 days ago.
Yes, this is April 20th, 2025. Dick Masterson came in, says masking was always harmful to kids. Trying to protect children from harmful biohazards agents isn't, quote, harmful, you numpty. The disease you are letting them catch is akin to HIV/AIDS. That's how these people think. That's where we're at. Ludi McFeely says you can start by using a 2025 mind instead of your petrified 2021 noodle. You can you can all carry on posting away for your fascist.
This is a parody. This has to be a parody, right? Surely.
No, their profile does explain everything you need to know, though, about this. Here is their profile. Antifa since birth, leftier than left, love dumplings. It's a London thing. But you can see they continue to post all these things about COVID and such in the year 2025 right here. So talking about
I can't believe that person was saying it was like HIV and AIDS, and then all of a sudden that spoof from Family Guy came into my head. It's like, you have AIDS, not HIV, but full-blown AIDS. Like, that entire song just popped into my head, and I'm like, how did we get here? Wow.
Right. And then we have this person as well, which, you know, I would say is definitely a troll, but they're not. You guys, you think these people are parody. They're not parody. This is not. I've like gone through their profiles and they look like, that's the thing. There's lines of
Bruh, you can't be this stupid.
Well, you can, because this person also posted fuck, I can't stop crying. They apparently, in fact, have COVID. Dun dun dun.
I'm gonna be honest, when you pull it up from like the back end, the tiny thing on StreamYard, I thought it was like a pregnancy test, and it's like, oh, they're repopulating, but no, it's just COVID.
No. Well, this person, Lou, they define themselves as they, she, queer.
Wait, what does the R stand for?
I have no idea.
Are they a pirate? Arr.
Queer, immunocompromised, anarchist, anti-fascist, disability justice advocate.
The only thing here that is like fine is the immunocompromised, because that's an actual medical thing where people have autoimmune diseases and they're immunocompromised. But the rest of it is like, well, what? Yeah. And I guess like disability justice advocate, like that's fine. Whatever. You want to advocate for the people who have disabilities. Okay. That's not such a big deal. That means you want wheelchair ramps. That's basically it.
So
wow. Wait, no, let's click on their throne page. Oh, let's go.
Okay, Blabs, I want to get to that because right here.
Is it just a bunch of face masks of different colors?
Well, check this out. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Is there anything anyone can do to help you right now? All right.
What? This is literally the same person with multiple parody accounts talking to themselves. You can't convince me otherwise. Look, disabled trash witch. They're all disabled mentally, physically. They're all just talking to it's one person. They have a disorder.
If folks could please share my Throne or Venmo so I can get stuff to treat myself, that would be helpful, especially the nebulizer / first page in general. You ready for their Throne page, Blabs?
Can't wait. It's probably like elderberry and face masks. Let's go.
We got CBD. Like, this is somebody who is like so psycho.
This is like, they should make a movie about this person. This is Bubble Girl right there.
Yeah. You know, straight up, they did. Have you ever seen Bubble Boy?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like, this is Bubble Girl.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're looking at here. You can get some vitamin D over here, which is wonderful.
You know, I bet she'd probably be a lot happier if you just got the D, and then she'd probably be less crazy.
I have multiple chronic illnesses and disability, including long COVID. And
What
this
is that? She probably, I can't say that one. We'll get banned on YouTube, but probably got those shots and it went wrong.
How many shots do you think that this person has?
All of them.
Like, what are we at? Like 15 at this point? Like, do you think that they treat this like an annual thing? You know?
A monthly. Better get that booster.
Look, I get the immunocompromised thing. I get it, right? But at a certain point, you can't just live in fear. You can't.
Yeah.
And these people are so fucking terrified, and it's so sad. It's so sad to see.
Wow. This can't, like, part of me still thinks this is all a giant parody, and all this person wants is, like, the CBD oil.
Well, here we go.
Expensive shit. Gift it.
But you can see, like, these are the tweets that this person puts out there. Like, look, Blabs. These are real people. Adrian needs to raise funds to stay housed. Like, remember, they're calling homeless people unhoused, right? So for her to stay housed, she's ISO admin employed in Portland, Oregon. I don't even know what that means. But all right.
ISO admin?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? In search of? ISO is in search of. That's what that means in the collecting world. When anyone says ISO.
Admin. Okay. In search of employment. Okay. I don't even know what that is. Sounds good. Anti-fascists wear masks because anti-fascists protect disabled people. Valuing the health of your community is the counterculture.
Damn.
These are real fucking people, Blabs.
Wow. You know, you learn so much every day, and I'm just so thankful that I'm not a flaming moron. Hooray!
I'm thankful it's time to buckle on up and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
Clown. Clown.
All right, we did hit our Montez goal from Ian coming in with 10. Says, I had a friend from London who thought a chicken had 4 legs because that's how many came in a pack. It was very difficult to disabuse him of this idea. That's hilarious.
The chicken's related to the T-Rex.
Dan says, I'll definitely watch the Peewee documentary. I'm excited to see more about the first movie because there's no behind-the-scenes footages besides photos and the commentaries on DVD and Blu-ray. Mary says, this is what 10,000 years of human civilization have brought to us. Soon, idiocracy will be our reality. Blaz, by the way, good news. I believe we can watch Idiocracy together. I believe it is available on YouTube. So just saying, I think we can watch the movie in its entirety.
Okay.
I'll need to look, triple check on that.
Confirm.
Yes. C. Tapia says, hey guys, great episode. Best show on the internet for show. Thank you very much. It says, Craig, what do you think of the Randy Orton match? Are you a Joe Hendry believer? I hope so. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was exactly what it needed to be. 5 minutes. Joe Hendry got a little bit of a chance to shine and also got a sweet RKO. The camera work on it was chef's kiss. It was excellent. Mercenary says, I avoided the co-video shots for a reason. Thank you, Mercenary. Max says, communists in 2025 are still a real thing in spite of all the failure. See Frank Decoder's book to have full insight on what the hell that is what the hell is CCP. Also, Peewee got arrested on sus PDF charges. Interesting.
Yeah, I heard about that one too.
Flying Dutchman just came in and says, go away, Baton.
Okay.
We'll be leaving here in just a minute. Brother Snape says, The Simple Life starring Pokimane. F.U. That's a good pun. Thank you, Brother Snape. Pippa came in, says, some chick showed her pussy Twitch. So who's going to do that on the Twitch band stream? No, we're not doing all that stuff.
Oh no, it's Alex foot pussy pocket pussy thing, and we'll show that.
Commodore fan says, I was a big fan of Peewee as a kid. have the show on DVD, we need the reminder this was before the internet, where prawn is easy to find, and that an undercover cop busted him in a private theater booth made for you doing your thing. Police overreach, in my honest opinion. Thanks, Commodore fan. Rebound says, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. Good luck, Marty. Thank you, Rebound, for that. Jag says, congratulations on Blabs for ratioing THR. What did you do?
I ratioed the Hollywood Reporter this morning, but I'm looking now, they have caught up to me. So I told them it was still time to delete the article that they posted about how we're all from rape.
Yeah, we may get to that a little bit later, as that story is interesting. So maybe we'll get to that tomorrow.
What a timeline.
Jason says Oblivion 180K Steam users first day, and it's on Game Pass. Kind of sinks the idea that Steam numbers didn't matter for Avowed, Assassin's Creed, and Star Wars. Yes, Jason, you're 100%. That does sink that. Yes. Game Hunter Serious says couldn't stop laughing when Blabs was releasing her inner player hater on Pokimane. Craig, I started the morning watching side scrollers even at work. Let's go.
Thanks for watching.
Appreciate that, Game Hunter Serious. All right, we did hit our Montez goal today, Blabs, and we do have a couple fun ones from the community. Blabs, you get to pick. Do you want to go Kirby, Earthbound, Double Dragon, or Wario Land? These were all created by our community of normal men over at Side Scrollers Plus using the Montez template that was created by Phoenix.
I'm gonna say Kirby.
Bitch! Montez!
Let's go.
That was funny. I didn't expect the ending with the hair. Boop.
Great. Love that. Appreciate that. And love to see the community doing wonderful things over there on Side Scrollers Plus. With that said, we have several more Montez to get to, but we'll do that another day. The best way for you to support the show is how, Blabs?
By becoming a member over on Plus, where you get to watch really cool videos like the uncut version of Blabs Versus, aka me playing the retro games that I'm so terrible at. You get to watch Side Dishes episodes, which release usually on Sundays, spaced out. And then we also have Nerd Duel as well. And this coming Sunday, we don't have a Side Dishes episode because we went to Phoenix's house instead, where we go and discover Phoenix's childhood home, and we may or may not find the owners at the house. So,
there you go. Maybe. So you can find all this stuff over here. You can search it all. You can find it, find the videos, find the live stuff. It's awesome. Great stuff. Really, you can find Blabs reacting to the John Moxley bump.
Yeah, awful.
Which is good. Watch Nerd Duels in their entirety, which is excellent. And you can watch them before they get released. With that said, guys, head on over there. Check it out. We appreciate it. Use promo code PLUS. Get a discount. We are 18 members away from 500. Then we're going to get that Twitch Burn It Down stream on the docket. With that said, guys, hit the thumbs up button on your way out. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow when we're back at it again at 11 a.m. Central Time. Blabs, who's joining us mañana?
To be confirmed, double checking, waiting for the double confirm. But Cody should be coming on.
Okay.
Double checking.
Right. It's going to be a great show. With that said, professional race car Cody. Professional race car driver Cody.
3-3-1.
All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Appreciate you guys popping in. See you guys later. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys later.
Fatality.
Have a great day.
Oh, it was early.